prime sources of weight gain that could be lurking in your homes right now. No, she isn't talking about food. Her speech is titled, "The Skinny on Chemicals and Weight Gain." Please help me welcome Allison Simone.
Show of hands. Has anyone ever struggled with their weight? Or know people who are so profoundly frustrated because no matter what they try, they can't get the same results that others can doing the exact same things? People often blame themselves. They think they're making mistakes or something is wrong with them. Well, I'm here to tell you, that's not always the case. It may not be your fault. There is a scientific reason why some people struggle more than others, and before you leave here tonight, you will have a better understanding of why that is and why it's not your fault. There's an analogy I like to use. When it comes to disease, your genetics loads the gun. We're predisposed to this or that. Your environment pulls the trigger. So what does that mean? We are all exposed to hundreds, copious amounts of chemicals in our normal everyday lives. They hitchhike in products like the food you eat, the packaging that food comes in, your tap or even bottled water, your shampoo, body lotion, makeup, laundry detergent, dish soap, air fresheners, medications, and more. These chemicals are legal because we're exposed mostly at low levels. But they're also biologically active, which means they can have an impact like pharmaceuticals even at those legal low levels. Let's explore that. Nearly all pharmaceuticals are delivered to the body in parts per billion doses. How can we picture this? Imagine your body is a 600,000 gallon Olympic-sized swimming pool. 1 part per billion is equal to about 1 teaspoon diluted in that pool. Some medications, like those that lower cholesterol, prevent pregnancy, or stop an asthma attack, are delivered in doses even less than that. Your body is designed, your endocrine system in particular, which regulates hormones, is designed to respond to these teeny tiny doses. Ever notice medications like antidepressants or birth control list weight gain as a side effect? That's chemically induced weight gain. It happens independent of diet, exercise, stress, and sleep, the 4 factors that current research links to weight gain. In 2006, these pharmaceuticals were classified as obesogens by UC Irvine professor Dr. Bruce Blumberg. He said these chemicals have the ability to alter fat metabolism and promote fat retention. In order to reach the health goals that we want, the first step is not to exercise more, or to stop eating junk food, although you do need to do those things. That first step is stopping the chemical assault on your cells so they can begin to heal and you can function optimally. That starts by turning off the toxic tap. Otherwise, it's like trying to mop up water off the floor while the faucet is still running. Check around your kitchens and bathrooms and you will likely find BPA, short for bisphenol A. It's what's called a plasticizer and responsible for, among other things, making some types of plastics hard and rigid. You may recall there was a big uproar a few years ago when it was discovered that BPA was a hormone-disrupting chemical. Well, it always has been. It was developed in the early 1900s as a synthetic form of estrogen, and it's a chemical that can change the way our fat cells grow and develop, resulting in bigger and more plentiful fat cells. BPA, like many other chemicals found in plastics and other places, can also very easily be released from the product and leach into the food or liquid it comes in contact with. This is why it was so alarming when BPA was found in plastic baby bottles. Babies were being exposed to BPA through the milk water or juice they drink every day. BPA is also inside cans. Cans of beans, tomatoes, soup, soda, beer. The cans are lined to protect the food or liquid from coming in contact with the aluminum itself, which can also leach out. It has been known to affect taste, and over time can be eaten away by the food itself. Choose your poison. As we all move toward eating healthier, one of the transitions we make is to eat less packaged and processed foods and more whole, fresh foods. This includes cutting back on cans and switching to glass jars and BPA-free containers. If we're exposed to some of these chemicals prenatally, we can be predisposed to gain weight as children and even into adulthood. As a health coach, I consider things from a holistic viewpoint. There never is just one thing that causes illness or health struggles. You don't just get a cold because you sat next to somebody on the bus who had a cold. You came down with that cold because when you were exposed to that bug, your immune system was down, possibly a result of an imbalance of healthy gut bacteria compounded by a lost night of sleep. There never is just one thing. It's not just calories. It's not just soda. It's not just less exercise. This is likely why so many people struggle to lose weight more than others. Their bodies are programmed from chemical exposures in their parents' or even grandparents' lives that predispose their offspring, that's you, your children, your grandchildren, to carry more weight. It doesn't mean that they will, it just predisposes them to. And in the face of junk food and not enough exercise and compounding environmental toxins like obesity, the deck is really stacked against that individual. This is likely why so many people in our population seem to struggle from childhood and seem to struggle more than everyone else. This is why it may not be your fault. There are things you can do about it. Support your body's natural detoxification processes by eliminating as many chemical toxins from your life as possible. I hope that tonight you've learned something new and are motivated to take a look at some of the things in your home, in your kitchen in particular, in a whole new light. I also hope that you have a new appreciation for the interconnectedness of all things in your body and have an understanding that the best way to address a health issue is through a holistic approach. Mr. Toastmaster.